Welcome to another episode of GVN Sports, the show where we bring you our love of all things football and basketball. And finally, regular season NBA is among us. Right now, we got the Sixers and Celtics going on, but we're spread between Knicks and Milwaukee Bucks fans, so we don't give a damn. Let's get into the double tie for all we care.
Everybody could lose. I would be like, all right.
That's why Mike said, like, oh, wow, I'm surprised they wanted to do the show tonight. I said, none of our teams play. I said, in the game I can guarantee you we care more about is the second one, not the first one. I don't give a damn. Like, come on now, they rivals to both of us. You know, we Knicks and Bucks fan. They rivals. We don't give a damn. But no, we got so much to talk about. But before we jump into it, let me introduce my panelists, starting off with Didge. What's up, Didge?
Oh, not much. Glad NBA is back. Definitely glad about that, but definitely don't care about this first game. Like,
I know, Didge. I know. I felt like I've known you long enough. I felt like I've known you long enough to speak for you to say, yeah, we don't really care. Prime, I feel like you care a little bit more than we do because you just love to watch the sport for the sport.
Yeah. I don't care who's playing, bro. I don't care who. I'm more hyped about tomorrow for real, but I'm just happy to see some basketball. But good to be here. Every team I root for lost this weekend, but I had a great cup of coffee Monday morning, so I was good.
There you go.
And you know what, Prime? You know why tomorrow matters the most is because after RJ Barrett puts up 65 points, 13 rebounds, and 52 assists, they're going to have to put some respect on his name. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no more Ja Morant around these parts. It's RJ Barrett's home, you know? And then once we're done with that game, and then once we're done with that game, you know what I'm saying? We taking a flight to Milwaukee at some point in the next month. You know what I'm saying? Put some foots to asses. Put some foots to asses. You know what I'm saying?
Next Friday, to be exact.
All right, I'm just saying, if we catch that dub, you know what I'm saying? It make up for that Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? It make up for it. Yeah, it do. Yeah, it do. But all right, let's get into some NBA talk. I want to start off with something I heard Shaq and the guys talking about today because I thought it was a really interesting conversation to have. And that conversation was Shaq had asked if Steph Curry wins 1 to 2 more rings, do you have to then open up the greatest of all time conversation to Steph Curry? Charles Barkley and Shaq kind of agreed on the idea that he's definitely top 5. Like, you can't keep him out of top 5. But for me, I don't think Steph Curry has to win 2 more. To me, with the one he just got, I have him at top 10, right? If he wins 1 more and he's the finals MVP, the man has something that only very few players can say they have. The man changed the game. You may argue for the worst. You may argue for the best. I'm not here to argue either one of those points. But the man changed the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't really see how, like, in Prime, I'll start off with you. Like, if Allen Iverson won a ring, I think our conversation about the greatest 2 guards has to change, right? But because the Dwayne Wades, the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, you kind of forget that AI, and most people skip over AI to put James Harden in that conversation. And I'm like, AI led a team to the finals that looked like he went to the local YMCA and just said, hey, me and Mutombo here, y'all want to come play with us? All right, yeah, y'all can come play with us. And then, they got their ass destroyed by Shaq and Kobe, but that was a lot of people, so we ain't going to put that on them. But for me, I kind of feel like if Steph Curry wins a ring this year or another ring before he retires, to me, bump top 5, I might have to put Steph Curry over Kobe Bryant. I might have to. I just might have to. Because of just purely not talent-wise and not even necessarily accomplishments as far as like championships, because he'd be 1 less than Kobe. I think Kobe had 5. So it'd be 5. If Curry wins 1 more, right? I would then have to argue him changing the game means more than Kobe just achieving what he did with those 5 rings. Yeah. Changing the game has to be looked at high. But I'm sorry, enough of me, Prime. What are your thoughts? If Curry wins 1 or 2 more rings, where would you put him in all time?
Oh man, it's tough because so he's at 4 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, whew, that's tough. I totally agree with you about the change in the game fact. I mean, that has to be put in there. But there will be people that argue he changed. You know, they'll start giving him the same deal they give LeBron. He changed the game in a softer league, and they did this. You know, I don't think you'll ever get anybody really. You know, that'll be the unanimous choice. You know, people are always going to buck back the same way they do with LeBron. But I still don't think he's number one.
Oh no, not number one. But I'm saying I definitely have to shorten it from 10 to 5 to 3.
I think you can argue. I think the 3 would be a legitimate argument. The one problem I would have though, and it's not even a problem for me. I'm just thinking about perception. Is if you look at these teams that he's had to this point. So there's going to be the fact that he's had Clay for some of the run, right? He's been with the same guys. We know when Clay was at his height, Clay shoot with anybody. Was one of the better defenders in the league. Mm-hmm. Regardless of what we think about Draymond, he had Draymond. Draymond was pivotal in everything that they did, right? Some people are going to hold the whole KD thing against him, right? I mean, they're going to. Can
you?
People think that you can.
Yeah.
You're holding. But Juwaan, just like you hold stuff against KD for going over there. Essentially the same thing. We're just not talking about KD being the GOAT, but he went over there with a certified.
But to me, the only reason why I don't hold it against Steph, I'd hold it against Steph if the only rings he had were the rings he won with KD. Because then it's just like, well, you've not shown that you could win without KD. The same way
people's argument is going to be that he should have been the Finals MVP when KD was out.
Yeah, but to me,
then I wouldn't say it.
But to me, it's such a toss-up because then what do you say about those years where Shaq was Finals MVP over Kobe? We don't hold that against Kobe.
None of this is fair. I agree. None of this is fair. People,
I'm just saying,
based on what they, what they think or how they want to think. So, but I'm trying to tell you, there are going to legitimately be people that are going to throw that up when this argument gets too strong. It's going to happen.
Okay.
And then I would love to see what I would really love to see. Granted, if they win it, of course, say they win it this year, then you got pretty much the same squad, right? For the most part, Malice supposed to.
Unless Draymond gets traded by the deadline and you pick up, a few more players or whatever, whatever.
Yeah. And it would be for this argument, if it's really going to be an argument, it would be even more to his benefit, believe it or not, if he could win it losing a player like Draymond.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one less piece. So, Draymond's been pivotal in everything that they've done. He's not on this team. And he still wins a championship with just him and Clay. And then the rest of those guys. And that's more towards this side. But there's going to be people that are never going to buy it regardless. They're going to leave him at the greatest, shooter that we've ever seen. And it's going to leave it at that.
I'll say this, Prime. If somebody wants to say, hey, the highest I could put Curry is 5. I'm fine with that. Because I already have him at 10. So if you're telling me one more ring gets him 5 spots up, so if you want to tell me that you're going Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Kareem, then Curry, I am fine with that. But in my mind, if the man wins a 5th ring, 3 without Kevin Durant, right? And the possibility of 2 of them being Finals MVPs. Again, I think we can all unanimously agree Iguodala should not have gotten it. He did, and you can't take it from him. But come on, right? Like come on, bro. Let's be for real here.
2 more rings, and I will put Steph over Melo. It's the GOAT, one of the greatest. No, I'm just.
I was about to say, wait, what? I love Melo, and I thought that was.
You know how to get Melo.
No, because here's the thing. That's why I said 2 rings is a crazy scenario because the man's at 4. So if he gets 6, I'm sorry, there's no way you're telling me Kobe Bryant goes over Steph Curry. If Curry gets 6, right, and he only won 2 of those 6 with an all-time dominant player, as opposed to Kobe winning majority of his with a dominant player, then it's like, why am I putting Kobe ahead of Curry?
I still would. I'm going to be honest. I still would.
You would put Kobe over Curry if Curry had 6 rings?
No fucking contest. I can't believe we're having that conversation.
Okay, go ahead, Didge.
This man is a liability on defense. Kobe has 12 all-defensive players. It should end right there. We're talking about one of the greatest offensive players ever versus one of the greatest players on both sides of the ball. What are we doing?
Right. Because, again, him changing the game has to mean something, Didge.
Kobe influenced almost every major player that's out right now.
No. We're talking about change. Because here's the problem, Didge. Here's the problem.
Cool. People shoot more three-pointers.
No. Here's the problem. Without Jordan, there is no Kobe. Without who, there's no Curry.
It doesn't matter. Of course, people shoot 3-pointers.
No, because you're saying that Kobe influenced a whole generation. But Kobe got his game from Jordan. So Jordan influenced Kobe. Who influenced Curry?
A lot of Curry was influenced.
Who was the Curry before Curry?
Reggie Miller.
No. At this clip, what he is now.
So are you saying Reggie Miller and Ray Allen weren't lethal 3-point shooters in their time?
No. Steph Curry is a transcendent shooter. There is a difference. There's probably a million lethal shooters in the course of NBA history. Reggie
Miller's game was built entirely on his 3-point ball.
100%. In the day Steph Curry started dribbling a basketball, the world unanimously was like, well, that's the guy. Even Reggie was just like, that's the guy.
Both of those players built their entire game pretty much on 3-point shooting.
Right.
And again,
no disagreement.
We're talking about a player who is a legit liability on defense.
I won't argue that.
Someone who went to 12 All-NBA defensive teams. Mm-hmm. But he's better than them because he won a ring, a team thing? Like, what are we really talking about?
Time out. No. Don't say that like Curry is an ancillary piece.
I'm not. But if we're saying rings, if we're saying the rings is all that matter, you would have put him over LeBron. But you stopped there. You stopped there because you said 3. So it clearly wasn't the rings. So it can't rings, that one ring versus it would have been 2 over LeBron. But the one ring over Kobe, who is a much better defensive player, it's clear as day that he's a better all-time player than him. Like, it's weird. I think you're having your recency bias right now.
No, not at all. Again, we're talking about hypotheticals, so it hasn't even happened yet. So I don't have any recency.
It's the recency of you're watching Curry right now. Versus, I don't know if you just don't remember much of Kobe or what.
No, because remember, we were talking, and we didn't argue the idea of Curry being, with this ring, top 10.
That's
I'm saying if the man ends with 6, I can't move him up 5 more spots?
Over Kobe is where it's the issue. I don't care where you put him, but over Kobe is the issue.
So wait. So you don't have an issue with me putting Curry over Kareem. You have an issue with me putting, not Kobe, Curry over Kareem. You have an issue with me putting Curry over Kobe.
You had him under Kareem. You were already treading there, but I got heated when you said over Kobe. Okay, honestly, I just got heated when it was over Kobe.
I have to ask
Kareem is kind of ridiculous too.
I have to ask you: the man ends with 5 or 6. Where are you putting him?
Top 10.
You don't have him in top 10 now?
I'd have to think. I don't. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I don't think it's as clear as you're saying.
You don't have him in top 10 now.
I'd have to think. Maybe. I don't think it's as clear as you're saying. I'd really have to sit down and think. He's for sure top 15.
So wait. Let me ask you. Where do you have Charles Barkley?
Charles Barkley. These are very off the top of my head statements. I don't go around just ranking my top 20 all the time.
No. If you don't have it, just no problem. We can move on. No problem. I'm not going to hold you to anything you're saying right now because, again, this is a hypothetical. But the fact that you don't have Curry in your top 10 already is pretty wild.
I don't think it is.
You think there are 7 players in NBA history that are that much better than Stephen Curry?
Off the top, if I'm just off the top of my head, yeah, probably.
Damn. Yeah, I'm sorry. Ain't no way on God's green earth I can definitively say Larry Bird deserves a spot, but Stephen Curry could be on the outside looking in.
As long as you don't put Larry Bird outside that top 10.
No, he's not outside of it. He's not outside of it. Right, but if Larry Bird is a definitive,
bad dude, bro.
I'm trying to figure out how Curry is the. He's still got something to prove. The man went out and got you.
Like top 15 is trash. Like
no. Because top 15 is where you start going the guys that were tremendous players that it don't even matter if you want a ring or not. That's more so just like you were that great. That's true. 10. I don't know if I could have anyone in my top 10 that does not have a ring. I don't know. I don't know if I could. That's essentially, and again, I know Mount Rushmore is smaller, but that's essentially your Mount Rushmore. So if you start putting people without rings up there, what do you do with the all-time players with rings? What do you tell them? Hey, you got to be on the outside looking in. No. And 4? And 4 at that?
I still don't know.
Hell nah. Hell to the no.
that lack of defense is a huge thing.
And to me, Didge, you know what I'll give you, Didge? You know what I'll give you? Because I said this before. If you're telling me the highest you can give him is 5, I have no issue. So it keeps Kobe at 3, and it keeps Kareem at 4. I have no problem with him being 5. None. That's what I'm saying.
I'll say this.
I won't argue that.
The Kobe point. In my top 10, he's exactly 10 right now, and
that's where he is for me right now.
And that maybe I still don't know.
That's where he is for me right now. I don't have him any higher than 10. He's at 10. You know what I'm saying? Because everything you said does matter. I'm saying when Shaq was asking the question of if he wins 2 more rings, where does he go? To me, if that motherfucker ends his career with 6, ain't no way he's staying at 10.
With 6, he can go. He can go to 5. With 6, he can go to 5.
Okay, all right, that's common ground.
But that's also still below. Fair. That's also still below Kobe.
But I just said if the highest you can do is 5, I'm fine with that. Because if I can put him at 3 and you got him 2 spots after,
that is the part that is the issue. You said he was better than Kobe.
It's not. No. Hear me. I'm saying if you're saying the highest he can go is 5, and I'm saying the highest I can put him is 3. To me, again, that's apples and oranges. I'm fine with the idea. I'm fine with the idea.
I can't believe
because if he gets one more ring than Kobe, you goddamn right I am.
This man is a liability on defense, but he better than Kobe. I can't believe
it. Don't matter. It don't matter. Ask him how much of a liability he was when he walked into them 6 rings. Ask him that. But Joel. Well, again, that was the hypothetical of the question. The conversation was, Joel, Shaq before the game was asking them, because they were talking about, obviously, the legend of Bill Russell, and they're in the Bay Area tonight for the game. So Shaq asked the panel the question of, if Steph Curry gets 5 or 6 rings, if he ends his career with either 5 or 6, he's at 4, where do you put him? And Shaq and Charles were saying top 5. Top 5 for sure. He would have to be top 5. If he gets 1 or 2 more rings, he would have to be top 5. Right? So right now I have him at 10. I think the last time me and you spoke, it was the idea of 10. I could, 10 is fine. We didn't have him any higher or any lower. So I ask you again, where do you have him now? And if he gets 1 or 2 more rings, where could you put him by the end of his career?
That's a very good question. I don't even know where I have him right now. I don't remember what I said last time we talked about it. So
it was right after the finals. So to be fair, we might have been, like Didge was saying, like right in the thrill of it. So it was like, 10. I know. But to me, I'm still sticking with it. I'm still sticking with 10.
I mean, top 10's not a bad. I don't think. We always, because you looked at it, and then the thing is, you think about it, and you're like, I can see top 10, and you start looking at all the players, and you're like, maybe not. But you look at the list, it's a big list, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You start missing certain ones, and there's certain people I definitely have that I'm probably not thinking of right now, and I don't feel like counting.
No. Again, I'm not holding anybody to what they're saying now because this is a hypothetical.
Yeah, at the moment,
it's not like he just won his 5th ring. So.
If he's not top 10 now, he will. He probably will end up there, And if he gets more rings, then he can get there. Yeah, of course, I think.
Okay, so you would be fine if he gets a 5th putting him at, let's say, at number 5?
I need to see the list. It's hard to just say.
No problem.
Ooh,
No problem.
As I'm looking at this, it's getting tougher and tougher. He might not be in my top 10 right now.
Yeah, no. To me, again, having the 4, being the first ever unanimous MVP, just getting this Finals MVP was huge. And again, the way the man had changed the game, there's no way I'm keeping him out of top 10. I'm sorry.
I'm saying that, and then winning a championship in basically the Warriors' third championship run type of.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a different form. Like the first form with the Bogut years, and you had the Durant years, and then you had this is a new one. We didn't even expect this one. It was like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
And the only reason, because you were saying this before, Didge, and we won't go down a Kobe Bryant conversation, but I didn't want to cut you off before, but you were saying I didn't dare put Curry above LeBron, right? And the reason why I didn't do that is there was at least 15 years where it was clearly LeBron James's NBA, like without a doubt, right? Without a doubt. There was an argument. Go ahead, Joel. I'm sorry.
I said there was one year where Steph Curry made an argument to be probably even better than LeBron.
100%.
1 year.
But the point I was going to make is during Kobe's height, right? During the early 2000s when him and Shaq were winning, the argument was you can really go either or, Shaq or Kobe, right? And then once Shaq left, it was clearly Kobe. And then LeBron just was born into the NBA, and then it was just clear, what is this guy's now? So it's like his status rose to like God tier of like Michael Jordan. So that's why I'm saying Jordan and LeBron are the 1 and 2, wherever you want to put them, 1 or 2, whatever.
Sure.
So then the argument goes from 3 to 5. You know what I'm saying?
I guess it's
not
just,
1 to 5.
I don't know, just the fact that your big thing was rings there, and it's just like then because Kobe was dominant pretty much all those years. LeBron was dominant.
For sure.
So it's
100%,
like
100%. But the only fault is there was never a conversation on who was better. That was never a conversation to be had. LeBron at his apex, and again, we're talking about Kobe as he was heading towards the end. So I'm not holding that against Kobe, but I'm saying LeBron was literally like the fucking hall monitor for the Eastern Conference for like 15 years. Like, I'm sorry, you want to go to the NBA Finals? Where's your fucking hall pass? Oh, you don't got it? All right, bet. Go back to class. This is my halls, bitch. You know what I'm saying? For me, Kobe did that a little, because you got to remember, and I think a lot of people get confused with this. A lot of those Kobe years were mixed with Tim Duncan years. So
that's another person in my top 10 who
so it's like,
don't know. Like, that's another person who's in my top 10 right there. That's going to be tough to supplant.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Fair. That's fair. But again, like I said, Didge, at the end of the day, the reason why I don't have any argument against what you're saying is because you agree that 1 or 2 more
it would have to be 2. It can't.
Okay.
One more.
Let's say 2. Let's say 2.
But as I'm looking at my list more, his limit might be 7. I'm not gonna lie, it might be 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant 7 rings. I was about to say, Didge, what the
his apex might be 7. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if top 6 can change.
To me, I will accept you putting him top 7 if you don't even have him in top 10 at all. Whatever, fine. Fine. You know what I'm saying? But again, to me, changing the game has to mean something. There are only a few players that actually changed the game of basketball. That's not something that everybody has done every generation. That's a very rare thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm not saying that I value him winning 6 over Kobe's 5 is ultimately like, well, he's just better. No, again, I just value that changing the game to meaning more. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But pure talent-wise, of course he's not better than Kobe. Of course not. Shit, we've seen them play against each other. I'm like, we've seen it. This isn't even like a hypothetical. They played each other before. We know this. But again, changing the game. That's why I said if Allen Iverson had like 2 rings, I would say it's very hard for you to tell me that Dwayne Wade is over Allen Iverson, regardless of what he didn't do defensively or steals or whatever. the man did help change the game for that size, for that position, for the handles, for the flair of the game. I mean, nobody looked at practice the same after that day. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? When I was playing soccer, my coach didn't dare ask us about practice. Practice? We talk about practice? Bitch, I'll be there Saturday for the game. So for me, I just value that. So again, if he had 2 rings, only 2, I would make an argument. We got to have this conversation about where you put AI in top shooting guards all the time. You know what I'm saying? We'd have to make that argument. But because he doesn't have rings, I can't make an argument that he's better than Dwayne Wade. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing that separates the two. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so I think we can all agree that even if Curry's not in our top 10, if he wins 2 more rings or even 1 more ring, Didge, if he wins 1 more ring, he should make it in your top 10.
That's fair. I could say that.
Okay, and then if he wins 2 more, you're saying the highest he can go is 7.
I think so. I still,
okay.
Crazy though.
It's there's some names in that top 10 that is just it's tough to move them around.
No, I get you. I'm just saying I've heard somebody put fucking Dominique Wilkins in their top 10, and I'm like, that motherfucker don't go over.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm like, that guy don't go over no Steph Curry. Come on now, dog. What we doing?
That person was probably from Atlanta.
Right. That's a Hawks fan.
I might have heard 2 Chainz, but anyway. But no, I just thought when Shaq brought up the question, he brought it up with bias because he said Steph Curry is his favorite player in the NBA, right? So for him, it kind of sounded like he was looking for any excuse to put him in the top 5. But as you said, Didge, when you start to look at the actual list, it gets harder and harder. But again, like I said, it just depends on what you value more. Like you were saying, Kobe's ability to play on both sides of the ball, you value that high, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of people when they're grading, they grade that very high. For me, that is only an issue if that is how you lost championships. It's because you could not play defense. If they can mask that shit up, which they do with Klay Thompson and Draymond, and now they got Wiggins to help musk a lot of that stench. To me, if you winning, don't really matter to me. It don't really matter to me.
That's where it becomes an issue because it's like you weren't half the reason they won because they had to. You were a liability.
For sure.
He is a legit liability on defense.
For sure, but I think also what it's not fair when you bring up names like LeBron, or I won't say that it's not fair, but where it's very unique is the idea that a lot of those Kobe teams, you can make an argument, and a few of those championship teams, he was the best defender, right? Steph Curry, since the day he has picked up a basketball in the NBA, has never had to be that, ever. You know what I'm saying? And it only intensified the better Draymond got, the better Klay Thompson got. Then you got Andre Iguodala. You know what I'm saying? It just was never a necessity for Steph Curry to play any kind of defense. But if there was a one-time Didge where he was exposed, you could maybe make an argument the year Kyrie hit that shot. I think Kyrie was averaging over 20-something points in the finals. So maybe then, but then the question is how much of that time was Klay guarding? You know what I'm saying? So it snowballs. But Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan, Jordan just took it upon himself to be the best defensive player. But Scottie Pippen was definitely there like, hey, the fuck? Can I do something? Like, damn. But when to me, like I said, that's a very unique thing that maybe a handful of players can really say that they affect the ball on both sides like that. I'm really liking the way Philly and Boston is playing. I want a fist fight. I don't like that people don't fist fight no more.
Your leg's about to go down out there.
Yeah, I don't like that people don't fist fight no more. I hate that. I really do. Oh, I meant to ask you guys this. Didge, I'm going to start off with you. This is a very weird question, but bear with me.
Oh God.
Have you ever watched? No. It's not a wild question. It's just more so of only Juwaan would think of this question. You ever watch football and see a player and a head coach just rip into the referee? And the referee just stands there and takes it and then walks away.
Yeah, Bill Belichick does it like once a game.
Why is that okay in football, but basketball, you sneeze wrong at a referee, and they can fucking eject you? I never understood that. Why was that such a dominant rule for basketball? But for football, you can essentially punch a ref in the face, and he got to get up and either squabble or walk it off. But in basketball, Who saw Tim Duncan talk on the bench and got thrown out? So I'm like, have you ever thought of that? Like why it's a little bit more lax in football than it is in basketball?
I don't know. Just the heat of the game. I don't know.
It's so weird because I kind of feel like
football's a violent sport, so it's like
that's why I would assume the heat is a lot hotter in football than it is basketball. I'm not hitting you. Like if we get in an altercation, that's usually by accident. You know, you did this the wrong way and I took it the wrong way. Football is I could blindside your quarterback, and now we're all fighting. Ref gets in the middle. I'm throwing the ref out of my way.
But I think that's why it's like they already know how violent this game is. They know at any moment. Right? I don't know about that. It's just they know at any moment things are going down. So it's like we know everybody's already amped up. You probably wouldn't be this. We know it. You probably wouldn't be this amped up in a normal situation. So I'm going to give you a little longer leash. Whereas in basketball, it's like, yo, you shouldn't be out here ready to fight at all moments. Where, like you said, football, somebody could get blindsided at any moment. So it's like, I get it, man. You out here basically fighting for your life.
Okay, all right. I never looked at it that way. Okay, Prime. How about you? How do you look at that as to them being so strict in basketball?
Well, it's crazy. But you got to remember though, most times in the NFL when we see this, it's over. Most times it's over a call or a non-call, right? Like, you know, in basketball, there's way more fouls than calls or you see what I'm saying? Right. There's way more fouls in basketball, so there's always, you know, more to argue. The football field, there's going to be somebody's going to be mad because it should have been pass interference, it wasn't pass interference, or somebody's always holding.
Right.
But not nearly in most games. It's not nearly as many flags, not even close amount of flags and stuff going to be thrown or questioned than it is as people getting fouled or supposedly getting fouled or whatever, supposedly getting pushed in the back, you know, while they're going under the rim for, you know, a layup or something. I don't know. But I think that's what it is.
I just always looked at it as Ron Artest and J.R. Smith ruined it for the newer age. Because when they had those massive-ass brawls, the NBA said, nope, no fucking more. You even breathe wrong. Throwing you out the fucking game. No more of this shit. But I miss those days. That Nuggets-Knicks brawl, that was basketball. I remember the Knicks had to finish the game with like three players.
That's too much. That's too much. When Danny Ainge was doing too much.
Danny Ainge out here biting people. That was way before all of that.
Oh yeah, that was when that shit was all legal. That's why I always laugh when they bring up the clip of Barkley throwing the ball at Shaq's head and then Shaq swinging on him. The ref looked at that and was just like, you shouldn't have been fucking with him. Like it's not that they start swinging at the refs like, I gotta break this shit up. Hold on, relax. All right, relax. But no, because sometimes I just kind of feel like watching basketball, they're too quick with a whistle, right? And there's no way to kind of bring it back. Like once you blow it and say it, there is no like, maybe I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? And most of these guys are friends, so when they get to chirping, that's just friendly chirping. You know what I'm saying? But the rest be taking like, nah, you could fight. No, it's not. But you know what example I would give you, Didge, is the first year Durant played for Golden State and they played OKC. When Durant and Russ were going back and forth, they were never gonna fight. It's why we never saw them escalated to fighting. But I want to hear them chirp. I want the back and forth. I want the fuck you for leaving. Nah, I'm about to win a chip over here. Fuck you for staying. Like I want to hear that back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of feel like they're just a little too strict with the whistle now that it takes that fun aspect of just talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Have
another Knicks and Miami Heat situation, man. That's what that is.
That is true. Yeah, they don't want no head coaches to be dragged by the leg.
It all started going downhill with that. It all started going downhill with the Malice in the Palace. That was when it hit the apex. It just went downhill ever since.
Yeah,
they don't want anything close to that again.
That was when players were just like, oh, you think because you bought a ticket you can talk shit? I'm coming up there. Like the fact that people still get wild in crowds amazes me because I'm like, it only takes one crazy player today to come up there and beat your ass.
I thought it would be Pat Bev. I'm not gonna lie, kind of messed up, but I'm almost positive it's Pat Bev.
You know what's funny? I really thought it'd be Draymond. I thought it'd be Draymond. I really did.
I got Pat Bev before him.
Really? I ain't never seen Pat Bev punch a teammate in the face like that.
What you gotta remember too, it's a whole lot easier for the fans to get out of the stands from what I'm saying, and get involved or get up there too, man. Like, did y'all see what they've given the fans warning cards now?
Really?
I saw that. I didn't think that was true.
I didn't see that.
You can look it up on the internet.
Yeah,
they're gonna have a warning card. So if a fan is sitting there and he's like mouthing off at the refs or with the players, whatever, they actually go over there and hand them a warning card. And I forgot what it says, but basically they come back at them again. They can like throw them out or whatever.
I dig it.
Nah, if you want to be fair, if you want to be fair,
I want to take it home with you. I want to take it home with you when the game is over. You got to give it back.
If you want to be fair, you should utilize the Charles Barkley rule. You should have a white card, a yellow card, and a red card, right? The white card is, hey, calm it down. The yellow card is, hey, if you keep this up, the option is up to the player. And then once the red card comes in, the player has an option to meet you in the hallway and beat your ass. And then after he beats your ass, you can come sit right back down and enjoy the rest of the game. They should invoke the Barkley rule. I guarantee you it'll make people stop talking shit. I guarantee you it will. It really would.
I just sent you a tweet. I don't think that's the person who originally posted it, but they got the picture of the card.
Yeah. Wait. Can you put it up here, Didge?
Yeah, I think I should be able to.
Yeah, see if you can put it up here. While you do that, let's oh my God, there's a legit warning card.
You see, I told you.
You know what's so funny about this warning card? Most of the fans that do all these problems are drunk out of their mind. They're not reading this fucking card. Look how many words are on this shit. Look at this shit. There's so many words there. I am drunk out of my mind. I don't even see the word warning.
That's a whole paragraph.
Yeah, what the hell?
It's in there. So you're being issued a warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the comments.
This is your first
everything else is fine print. It's like you're not expected to read that because they could beat your ass. It was on the card. You were warned.
You were warned. It's like, yo, hold on. I'm suing Draymond. He put his foot through my chest. No, that's on the card, bro.
On the card, yeah. You were warned.
It specifically says Draymond at any point in time may put a foot through your chest. You didn't read it. That's your fault.
Hilarious.
But all right, let's move on. I want to talk about something that I thought was even funnier. Okay, in basketball, I was gonna send this to you, Joel, but I didn't get a free second to. So I'm watching First Things First this afternoon, right? And they're talking about Wembanyama, whatever you pronounce his name, Wembanyama. It's okay. You can say it, Joel. There you go. So they were arguing over the top 4 teams they think could be in the running for him come draft next year. I will read you the teams from 4 to 1. Okay. Number 4 is the Jazz. Yep. I don't think anyone's shocked by that. They tried to clear the deck so they can get him, right?
For sure.
Number 3, the Thunder. At this point, they're trying to pull a 76ers and tank till they get 2 transcendent players. That's all they're doing at this point. Number 2, the Spurs. I think Popovich just came out in an interview talking to the press saying, hey, I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Nobody should expect us to win the NBA Finals this year. Like, I'm just saying, if I do, you guys know who the greatest coach of all time is, but, just don't expect it. And here's what's going to shock you guys. They had at number 1. Let's see if you guys can guess it. Didge, can you guess who they had as number 1?
What conference?
For having a Eastern.
Pacers.
Eastern.
You got the Pacers, Joel? Okay. Who you got, Didge?
Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't expect it was going to be an Eastern Conference team. So that threw me off.
Yep,
I was ready to guess the Kings, to be honest, but
nope. Shit. That would have been a way better.
That's what I'm saying. When you said Eastern, it threw me off. So now I'm drawing a blank. Wizards.
Yep. Okay. Prime. Who you got? Who you think?
Orlando.
All right. Now, here's what's going to shock you guys. The team that they have at number 1 is on Prime's hat.
The Knicks? For a small percentage, I was going to say the Knicks. I'm like, nah, it couldn't be.
What?
So the question Chris Broussard said is, they won 37 last year. You think they'll win 12 they'll be 12 games worse with the talent that they have? And they're like, yeah. I think the Knicks will want to get a player that great, and they'll do whatever they can. And I'm like, I don't think getting a transcendent player means more than trying to win a championship. I don't think any franchise that believes they're not far from a championship will try to.
They haven't paid attention then.
Because he's like, wait, Bruce Hart was like, wait a minute, they just got Brunson. You don't think Brunson makes you 12 games better? He said, no. I think they can be 12 games worse. And he's like, oh, well, okay.
Whose list is it?
Kevin Wilds. He's the moderator for the show.
I don't follow him. I'm gonna block him.
I'm gonna go find this and retweet it.
If it helps Joel, he's also a Patriots fan, so
you
needed more reason to block him. But to be fair, his reasoning was he thinks that would be best for basketball is if you get this phenomenon in the Mecca. You know, the same way they thought for Zion. But the only difference is
that's always the case, but they never give it to us. So why now?
But talk about the biggest difference is when we were Zion hunting, we were bad enough to be in the running for a top 3 pick.
It's not.
This roster is too good for me to believe we will be 12 games worse than everybody else.
There's a lottery. We can't, even if we're the worst, it doesn't guarantee a spot.
Not at all. And I can make an argument, Joel. The Knicks are the top 5 deepest teams in the NBA. So you can't even go, well, if one player goes down, they're screwed. Not really. Depending on who the player is, maybe. But not really. Like, at this point, we're sitting here saying there's players that are good that got to ride the bench. So I'm like, I don't understand how they could be 12 games worse. I thought that was wild from a guy named Wilds. So I very much looked at that like
his name for sure.
I'm like, all right.
It out. I couldn't find it.
But that's why I love Didge for saying, oh, Sacramento. And it's like, well, that would have made sense.
No, Sacramento was actually my thought too until you said Eastern Conference.
Yep. And look, your pick of Orlando. All of the sense in the world. We know that Orlando gets a hard one off.
Indiana will be bad.
Indiana will be bad. They might even try to be bad. I'm telling you right now, Turner and them guys are gone. They gonna kick their ass right out the door. Y'all gotta go. Y'all can't stay here. We can't win games. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. So I wanted to bring that up to you guys because I thought that was funny. All right. So we picked. Does anybody remember their NBA Finals picks that we made a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah,
I don't remember.
Do you remember your finals picks that you made?
Of course, I know my finals.
I know I had.
I forgot yours is biased. I forgot.
yes, I know.
I so forget. As soon as you said that, I'm like, yeah, that's right. And you know what's funny? It's not even that you're biased. So I want to take that back because that's like such a negative term. I want to take that back. It's not that you're biased. It's that your team is too fucking good for you to assume anything else. Us on the other hand. Us, on the other hand, we're trying to get to that point. So that's why that was never an option for us. We were definitely thinking more realistically.
Coming out of the West, though. Why you guys go over it? Let me remember who I picked coming out of the West.
I don't remember who I picked.
Well, shit, if Didge gets to do it, I want to do it. Fuck it. Knicks and Warriors. That's my NBA Finals.
I think I might have said Bucks Warriors.
Shit, that's what I'm going with. Prime, who you going with?
Knicks and 6, baby. Yeah, they going. Let's go.
Hey, I'm with it. Shit, I'm with it. I'm down. You know what I'm saying? And let's see if we could do. What was that old basketball game? NBA Street, where if you beat one of the legendary teams, you could take one of the players from the team.
Yeah.
Let's see if the Knicks can do that. Like, if we win, we get Jordan Poole. We get Jordan Poole, and they're like, well, what do we get? Evan Fournier. Have fun. Go knock yourself out. Go have a good day.
Well earned.
Joel, because I believe you will not say the Knicks. Who do you got in the NBA Finals this year?
I don't remember who I had, honestly.
No. I'm asking you now. Who would you put in there now? You don't have to remember who you said. That's fine, because I'm not going to go back to double check it. So.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm gonna say, just to be different, Clippers and Sixers.
Ooh, goddamn! Then that means Kawhi was your MVP this year. That means Kawhi was your MVP. If they go to the finals, running through that gauntlet, he had to have been your MVP.
Yeah, I'm good with not seeing the Celtics or the Warriors again in the finals. So
that's fair. That's fair. I can't really argue that.
Did I say Memphis? I don't really remember if I picked him out of the West, so I'm gonna go Bucks and Warriors, whatever.
Bucks and Warriors, okay. All right, I like it because they ain't not a one player on that team that can guard Giannis. They might have to assemble the fucking Autobots or some shit to try to just build a wall. Fucking build a wall. Go gadget wall. Stop him. So wait, I want to ask you, Prime. I'll start off with you. Do we think Miami will take a step forward or a step back? I personally think they'll take a step back because they lost Jimmy Butler. I don't know who the invasion of the body snatchers switched Jimmy Butler with. Whoever that young woman is that they have on their team.
I was so confused for a minute.
I don't know who they subbed them out for, but
I missed.
I'm like, what?
I was like, damn, he got hurt. Like, what did I
that lovely young lady that plays for Miami right now. I don't know how she's gonna stack up against the rest of the guys. No, he didn't, because the photo that they're running with when they promote these games, it's Luscious Locks Butler. Yeah. So if he cut it, it was soon. It was recent.
ESPN definitely still has last year's picture because
I'm watching TNT and they got the Luscious Locks.
I'm talking about on the website though.
Oh no! When TNT was promoting the games this week, it's Luscious Locks Butler. But Prime, we obviously see that their roster didn't take a drastic shift. They lost PJ Tucker, which a lot of people. You see it, right? You see it? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We in the bad bitch era of Jimmy Butler. That's what we in. But Prime, do you think Miami can take a step forward, knowing that their roster hasn't gotten any better and is pretty much the same? So now it's on these players to just have a massive step forward in your Duncan Robinsons and your whoever that kid is that's not better than RJ Barrett. I don't even know if he has a name. There you go. Tyler Villain. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. Like, where do you see Miami?
I think they're going to be just as good. They went 52, 53 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really lose anybody. Right. So the folks that got paid, they got money. And one reason they're not going to take a step back?
Why? Because
that guy with the new hair, he had an interview with Taylor Rooks. You can never go wrong if you get an interview with Taylor Rooks.
That's fair. Jason Tatum went to the finals.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I'm supposed to hate Miami players, but I was kind of happy for the guy when I saw that.
Oh, no, I still hate him. He slept with Rachel Nichols. I can never forgive that. I had to watch Undercover Brother after I heard that. I said, "Oh, hell no!" Didge. Losing PJ Tucker, I think, will become a big problem for them because now you're going to be asking Jimmy Butler to guard the best player on top of dropping 30. So he showed that against the Celtics last year. He can't do both. He can do one, but not both. So do you think losing PJ Tucker, and again, when I say a step back, I don't mean like they'll become a lottery team. I just mean if they won 50 something, it might be 45, 46, nothing massive.
I think they'll be right around the same, but I think the East itself is going to get better.
Right. So then by default, will they get worse?
Yeah, because I still think they'll win around, because I remember how many they had. I think it was 52 last year.
Right. About that, yeah.
I think
you muted yourself, Prime.
Yeah, you definitely.
53.
53. Got you. Okay, got you.
Yeah,
all right, so you think around there?
Technically, yeah, 49, 50 around there. But like I said, I think the East around them is probably going to get better.
Right.
So it'll probably, like you said, by default. But I'm interested to see how Nikola Jovic is going to play.
That's a really interesting one. Yeah,
I'm really interested to see how he's going to play.
I'm with you there. I didn't know who he was, so Joel was talking about him. I was just like,
It's so funny because he almost got drafted by the Nuggets. They had him on the board, at least from what I was seeing from the
Jokic.
Yeah, that's how I was like, oh man, that'll be funny because I think he plays the 4 too. So like they would have definitely could have had them both out there at the same time.
He's all over the place. I'm not sure.
The Nicolas. Just have them.
The Nicolas. Well, all right, Joel, where do you think Miami will finish this season? Do you think a record that's about the same, better, or worse?
It really depends because they did lose PJ Tucker. And I'm not 100% sure what their starting lineup is going to look like. They do have they're very small, aside from if they don't play the way that they started preseason. But I'm not sure if they're going to actually use
Duncan Robinson isn't starting for them.
Yeah, Duncan's been off the bench since the end of last year, Looks like Tyler Herro's going to start.
Yeah, but he's starting at 2. Caleb Martin's going to be there 3. It looks like according to ESPN.
Yeah, no, that's who I saw the other day.
Yeah, that's who was in the game. But yeah, they started at 7 the first game, but he's been hurt since. I don't know if they're gonna really do that because that's interesting if they go that direction. Because you're 7 to center, and if they actually put Bam at power forward, that means they trust him enough to play that position. It really depends because they'll probably go with Martin anyway. But
Jimmy Butler at 4? I don't know if I like that.
I don't like that.
Well, I mean, the man, again, should it be that? No, but the man can guard 1 through 4.
Fair.
He can. You know what I'm saying? So he can.
But I think you put him at 3, Bam at 4, and just run Dedmon at 5.
Well, I don't disagree. Like I said, it wouldn't be what I want, but you can make it work. You for sure can make it work. The man who plays impeccable defense. But that's what I'm saying. Now you're talking about he has to guard people that can back him down in the post. So you're talking about him getting back down 50 times a game and then having to go drop 50.
Maybe
that's asking a lot.
That's why.
Maybe they're feeling Dedmon's too slow. I don't know.
Maybe. And they want to run and gun. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. That's why I said it depends on what that lineup looks like.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Haslam going to start.
Who?
If Haslam touches that court, he'll spontaneously burst into dust. They don't let that man get
Who was that who was complaining about Iggy still having a spot on the Warriors?
Oh, me.
Yeah, that's who you should be complaining about.
Well, shit, no. If they trade Draymond, you might need the motherfucker out there at some point. You might have to run it back another year. Like, hey, we traded Draymond. We need you. Like, Wiggins can't do that.
No, you need to be complaining about Haslam. This man he's been in the league. He hasn't played a game since he played one game, in 2018. But other than that, hasn't played a game since 2014.
To be fair, Haslam is, for the first time in NBA history, a boardroom player. So he's an executive for Miami Heat, but still sits on the bench just in case somebody needs to give out garbage minutes, just in case.
He's a coach that they're paying.
Yeah, he's the assistant coach. Yeah. That's all.
Player. He's a player coach they don't talk about.
All right, let's move out of basketball. Right now, it's a good game with Celtics and Sixers, with Celtics pulling away, and then we got our second game of Lakers and Golden State. I'm going to be very interested to see. Luckily for the Lakers, a few of their guards are starting the season off injured, right? So you're by default you have to use Russell Westbrook in your starting lineup. But when they get back, I'm very interested to see what that lineup looks like. No, they said he's going to play through it.
He's going to play through it. Oh, now he's okay.
Well, if you're Russell Westbrook, you're like, I don't want to give them
too much comfort. Oh, my hammy. Everyone's hurt. I'm back. I'm good.
I'm ready to go. You're starting me, right? I'm healthy.
The only listed guard that's still technically hurt is Schroeder.
Yeah, he just had
yeah, and now Thomas Bryant is getting surgery too, but he's a center.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying of their guards. I remember the other day they had way more than just one.
Right.
Now, so I don't know what happened in a day, but it's
they gave out the starters. Okay,
you know what happened? You know what happened, Didge? Practice yesterday, Russ walked in and said, "Hey, I'm starting, motherfuckers," and then they said, "Hey, y'all get healthy." Quick.
They're starting.
We can't let this happen.
Westbrook, Walker, Beverly, James, and Davis today.
Yeah.
Ooh, yikes. Okay, that's a whole lot of shooting.
I mean, to be honest, what else can you do? There was nothing. Like you're not starting.
What are your options?
Not really any options there.
Start, but damn.
You weren't starting, like I'm saying, like you weren't starting Austin. Maybe you would have started Kendrick Nunn. It would have been weird, but
I mean, I would have preferred that because I think he just fits better. But whatever. We don't want the Lakers to do well, so put everybody out there. I don't give a fuck. Be the first ever 6-man lineup. I don't care. All right, let's move into football. We'll have a lot more basketball to talk next week when a bunch of these games have been played. We'll have had at least 4 or 5 games played by the time we get to next week. No, 3 games.
Maybe about 3.
Three.
For some teams, maybe not even.
I know the Knicks. No. I know the Knicks. No.
Most teams have probably played about 3 or getting ready to play 3 by then.
Right, because I know. Yeah, the Bucks would have only been 2.
Well, we got together, Didge, and we're trying to figure out a way for you guys to only play about 25 this year. So you're ineligible for the playoffs. We were trying that.
Cool.
Yeah. We were trying to see how that works. We would just go, Giannis, just go home. Like home? Yeah. Greece. Go
Appreciate
home.
it.
Hey, it's just love out here, Didge. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It is so weird seeing Blake Griffin in the Celtics jersey. This man has been a traveling man.
91? That's a
Goodness
weird number.
gracious. Well, at this point, people forget he's still in the league, so he's
that's
like,
Rodman's number, wasn't it? Or was he 92?
I think it was 91, right?
It might have been 91. Yeah, it might have been 91. All right, let's get into football. I want to start off with this, guys. I want to start off with last night's game.
Oh, why?
Which was because it was one of the worst games you could have ever put on television.
Which is why I said why.
Because I will not miss a chance to remind the world that Pete Carroll was right. Pete Carroll was right. And we were laughing at this man when we said, Geno Smith is your future? Oh, hell no. You about to lose hella games. Their records are comparable.
Their records are, yeah. I think the Seahawks the Seahawks are 3-3, so they have a better record.
And I've seen a lot more games of Geno Smith throwing for about 200 yards than I have seen Russell Wilson play. I tell you what, Russell Wilson, I think, sometimes goes out there and gets confused on whether or not he's Russell Wilson or Russell Westbrook. And I think he's struggling right now trying to figure out if he's playing basketball or football. Because that man has had at least 4 players open in the last 3 games that he just does not look at. Just looks away from. I don't know what's going on. Didge, this is your man's. So talk to me, man. What's going on with Russell Wilson?
That's not my man's.
I'm putting him on you. I'm putting him on
we're good. I'm putting
him on you.
Thank you for reminding me. I need to cut him from my fantasy team.
Which, by the way, I officially say this?
I saw. Congrats.
Juwaan's got to win.
Congrats.
Juwaan's got to win. And here's the funnier part. I have a win, and guess how many points my quarterback had? 4.
Hilarious.
4. Justin Herbert gave me fucking 4 points.
Yeah, he was truly. I had him in another league, and I meant to bring that up to you. Like, man, what is going on with your boy?
Your man.
Well, you shouldn't have drafted him. That's the problem. You jinxed him. That's the problem. You didn't jinx the goddamn man. But anyway, all right. So, Prime, let's not talk about the game as a whole. My question to you is, what is wrong with Russell Wilson? Is it the play calling? Is it the decision making? Is it that maybe these receivers that we thought when Aaron Rodgers was coming were all-time great maybe aren't that good? Like, what is the actual problem in Denver? Because it's not the defense. It's not.
Oh, no, defense is solid.
It's the offense that you spend over $50 million on, right? So talk to me, Prime. What's wrong with their offense?
What offense? Bro, that is like the ugliest thing in the world to watch. And, most of us thought it could be one of the better offenses in the league. I just don't know. Like, I can't keep defending Russ. I try, I'm 804. I'm from right down the street from where he's from, 20 minutes away. And I tried to defend this guy, but these last couple of games, especially when you see him, missing, players that are wide open. Now, Grant, I think that I still say that some of this is also on the coaching staff. We were used to Russ cooking, but he's got a totally new cookbook now. And the coach himself don't even know. Like, it's crazy. Like I mentioned before, the coach looks lost. They got to bring in coaches while the season's going on, coaches who weren't even on the staff, to help things out. And he just looks like, I don't know, like he can't even manage a game. So it's not helping the situation. But we've seen, Russ is in a totally new offense. And we've seen some time where it may take a team or, a player to adapt to a new offense. But, man, this just looks – it don't even look like that with Russ. It just looks like just something's not right. It's like –
And what's sad about how he's playing? Denver had a better season when fucking Brock Osweiler was their quarterback. Think about that for a second. Brock Osweiler produced a winning playoff season with the Denver Broncos, and it looks like Russell Wilson will not. Like, that's a scary thought. And Didge, if you're looking it up, remember that game against New England where Noshawn Moreno, I think it was, ran for about 50 yards and won them that game over New England to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, but I'm also looking at Brock Osweiler never started more than 7 games in any season for Denver. So I can't put that on him.
Why not? 7 games? Why not? 7 games is a lot.
You're not leading anybody to a playoffs in 7 games.
He took them.
He
could have lost those 7 games.
I can't give that to him.
Shit, Russell Wilson has almost played 7 games. He's lost about half of them. So I'm like, if he won the 7,
he got hurt.
Nah, they saying he hurt for an excuse to bench his ass. He hurt, y'all. What is it?
I don't think you can bench that much money, bro, unless you got to play. They just gave this man a massive extension.
Hey, right. Shit, at this point, I'm looking upstairs like, Elway, you got anything left?
Hey,
no,
Juwaan, Hackett will get fired maybe even his first season.
Oh, he's one and done.
Before Russ.
I think he's one and done.
Yeah, I told somebody that yesterday. He might be one and done.
Even be fired before the end of the season. The problem is, you might as well keep him for the whole season, because what you don't want is to fire him soon, and then Russ still looks this bad. Because then you got to go, well, shit. Maybe it won't the coach. Maybe it was Russ. Like,
but what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? You just gave this man a massive extension, and the way Russ looks now, it don't matter what it looks like when you fire the coach, because
you know what you can do.
Take on that salary with Russ looking the way he looks now.
You know who would take Russell Wilson right now?
Who?
Washington. The only person that looks worse than Russell Wilson right now.
They wanted Russ. They wanted Russ, and it didn't go down. They said the two closest that they had was Russell Wilson, and the other one was Garoppolo.
Right.
And they said they were claiming to be very close with both of those, so they thought was actually going to happen.
Well, I heard a rumor. I don't know how true it is, Prime. I heard a rumor they injured Carson Wentz in the locker room the other day, so this motherfucker could stop throwing footballs. So they might be looking for a savior. Hey, you might luck up and go, hey, y'all stupid enough to – all right, shit, take him. Take him. Give me a couple first rounds. Take him. He's yours. Have fun. Knock yourself out. Because think about it. If you're Washington and they're trying to fire Snyder, right? You may need a face like Russell Wilson to sell that organization to possible buyers or to your fan base. So they might be desperate enough to say, all right, fuck it. Like,
you know what, though?
I'll do it.
Is there such thing about getting too much? Because I'm beginning to wonder now, is with all this is going on with your boy Brady, and Giselle says she's not getting the action that she wanted.
Right.
I think Russ might have heard that he might be getting too much. He might be throwing the game off, bro.
That might be. Brady ain't getting enough, and
he can't blame him. I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, bro.
I mean, she made the song Goody, so I mean, every day you look at
it.
We going upstairs here. Don't you got to study film? Fuck this film. Let's go.
She tried to tell us even when he with him. She tried to tell us.
Yep. And Joel, don't you feel good that the Giants weren't desperate enough to try to get Russell Wilson to be their quarterback?
It was good. I wasn't joking.
Joel said it's all about the Joneses around this motherfucker. All I needed was a Jones. Who knew it was Daniel? Right? Who knew that the Jones would be Daniel? Somebody said yes. The best Jones might be Daniel. You know? Over Jerry Jones, over Mac Jones, you know what I'm saying?
It might be over Mac Jones.
We got Jonathan Jones. Don't.
Yo, if Denver needs a quarterback, they can have Mac. It's all about the zap right now. We zapping these hoes out here. You know what I'm saying?
Hour?
We zapping them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Spooky season right now with Zappy boy. You know what I'm saying, Didge? Come on, man. Mac Jones never come back.
But can we say how much the AFC West was lied to us?
Well, can I push back a little bit?
Overhyped.
Can I push back a little bit?
No.
I think a lot of the struggles the Chargers are having is health early on. And again, those games, it really is. It really is. And for the Raiders, we said this. A lot of these games they're losing are by like this much. Games they could have easily won. So it's not like the Raiders are garbage, the Chargers are garbage. It's really the Broncos that are garbage.
The Chargers are disappointing. And I'm tired of their coach. I'm tired of their coach lying to us.
Hey, wait, time out. Didge, hold on. Here's why we can't say anything out loud about the Chargers. We need the Chargers to continue to play this way so that we can get J.C. Jackson back on cheap.
He got benched the other day, bro.
He did. He sure did.
I'm just tired of their coach lying to us and telling us Keenan Allen is day-to-day. The man has been day-to-day for a month. Mm-hmm. You can't be day-to-day for a month.
Hour by hour.
Didge, I got this man on my bench. And every week I look at him and I'm like, you'll never play.
I have him on my bench in another league, and I'm like, why are you here?
But see, timeout. That's no worse than Bill Belichick every week going, Mac Jones is getting closer. Closer? Bill, he can't play. He's hurt. Let the poor boy just get surgery and
getting
call
closer
it a day.
Is fine. Day to day in football means, you know what? You might play this week, and if you're not playing this week, you'll play next week. He's been day to day since like September 18th.
Time out. To be fair, that is true until the season ends. That he is day to day. They didn't tell you what day, but they said at some day he'll be back on this field. It's just between this day and some other day, but he'll be back at some point. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's just very disappointing. It's just very disappointing. But to change the conversation around, I want to talk about two shocking teams in the NFL, and two of them come from the NFC. Prime, I want to start off with you for this first team because, you know, we got to give you your props. You know what I'm saying? We got to give you your flowers. Fucking Vikings are 4-1. For the life of me, I'm sorry. Even worse. They're 5-1. Kirk Cousins might fuck around be the MVP out here. Like, he might sneak around and catch an MVP body. But Prime, walk us through it, man. How does this team keep pushing forward each week for a quarterback we swore would have at least lost him 5 of these games by now? And he just hasn't. He just hasn't.
They're finding new ways to reinvent themselves every week. So, you know, Justin Jefferson started out early in the season, had a massive game. Then he got quiet. And then now he's been super effective, and he doesn't even have to score. Like, he's having games where he can get you a buck and some change and don't score, right? You know,
which I appreciate because they've been going to Thielen, and I got Thielen, so I've been appreciating that.
Thielen, there's been a Rager sighting, KJ Osborne. I mean, like, they're just playing. They're playing tough football. Even in the secondary, I've watched that secondary give up some big plays, but not let people in the end zone when they need to not let them in. Right. You know, so I still think it's acceptable on that back end, but they've played pretty well. But I just think them finding ways to still make you respect Justin Jefferson without him having to be the guy in the end zone every week is paying dividends. Yep. You know, you're sending 2 guys over to get him because they're running him in motion, and there goes KJ Osborne just, you know, straight down the field. You know, Rager cutting through. Thielen had a nice game the other day. So, yeah, shout out to Minnesota. I mean, I think, you know, it's still way too early. But man,
schedule looks very winnable.
But you look at their schedule, and you look at that division. So let's be honest. We talked about Detroit, right? Now, granted, you know, you guys put a real hurting on Detroit, and they had the bye week, but we know they can score, but they're sitting back with 1 win. Yep. You know, Chicago. I mean, that's you talking about watching Denver play.
Yeah, they look just as bad.
It's hard to watch Chicago play, man.
Whoa, hey! Don't jinx us. We play them Monday. They look great. True. They are a phenomenal team. We love them. They are awesome. Hey, we learned if there's something to worry about, always happens. That's what they said in that Dolphins game. Oh, y'all got it. Fucking the play from hell. So I'm like, hey, you never know when it comes to us. So I'm starting to respect everybody.
And you see Green Bay struggles.
Oh, don't remind me.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they can't put something together. I mean, and win some games. It's just not gonna be the way we used to win them. But as of right now, Minnesota is in a great spot.
Yep. So I want to use this segment to give
Super Bowl.
You sure? Hey, it's no worse than me picking the Chargers, so you're good. But I want to give everybody their flowers while I'm doing this circle of appreciation. So Joel, I'll go to you next, man. To utter the words. You know what? I'm not even gonna say it. Your hat. You guys are doing really good this season. Talk about it.
Motherfucker, this shit says
right, your name.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, so I wrote it. I wrote it. That's what I did. I wrote it. What you see there in my name box? There you go, Joel. Talk about those people.
Well, these people obviously are doing a lot with what they got.
Very little.
Bitch,
you will not do that to me. You will sure as hell not do that to me. If you don't change that, you know what? No, don't change it. Continue talking, Joel. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like I was saying, we've done. They've surprised me, honestly, because we've been able to do a lot with a little. You know, even though I do believe our front line has been really good, even with all the injuries to the defense and the secondary, we've been able to pull through. It's really come down to coaching. Like at the end of the day, it's like a chess match, and we just have some smarter coaches at the end of the day. And that they've been impressive. So imagine what they can do with actual talent, like real talent, like on offense, defense. I mean, we have some decent players in certain positions, but they're maximizing what they got. You know, the players they have, they're working to their strengths and not towards their weaknesses. They're clever. You know what I mean? Like last year was the most stagnant offense I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I've never seen the most unoriginal offense I've ever seen in my life. It's just, and like with the same guys almost, it's like completely night and day. It's completely night and day. I've never seen such a difference between coaching between one year to the other. So that's why for me it's such a big deal, because you could see the difference from last year to this year in just coaching. You know what I mean? And
shout out to Tibbs, right? Yeah. Tibbs is starting to really gain traction. He's starting to really gain traction. He had what? A sack?
Yeah, sack fumble. Yeah.
Sack fumble.
Yeah. He forced a fumble and he closed the game, basically. You know what I mean?
We said it. We said Tibbs was going to start to climb his way back. The Giants. No, that is very true. That is. The Giants right now want to try to forget things like that. That you're paying somebody that is not contributing wins.
That's the problem. We have no. We just got our rookie receiver back he got injured the first game of the year. First snap.
Wait, hold on, Joel. You know I'm laughing. Remember when Didge yelled at me last week and said, Juwaan, no way the Cowboys are going to stay with Cooper because Cooper can't win games, right? That defense can't hold out for forever. I'm watching the Giants win 5 games with not a fucking receiver on the field. And they're just trying to tell me a defense can't. Saquon is winning 6 games essentially by himself, right? 5-6 games by himself. That can carry, dude.
But did that defense hold out forever? And did Cooper win them that game? I'm sorry, Prime. I know that's your team. But what did I tell you when they had to rely on Cooper?
We're talking 1 loss. 1.
About being clever.
Not you too, Juwaan.
Huh?
Not you too. You did you say
of Cooper?
Yeah.
Of Cooper?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. They were playing behind Cooper like they don't fuck with Dak. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying they looked inspired, right? I ain't never seen CeeDee Lamb run that hard in my life. That man was playing inspired for Cooper Rush. That's all I'm saying. So I'm saying if Dak come back this week and y'all lose, I'm just saying it's Cooper time. You know what I'm saying?
Let's say that hypothetically happens. How would you feel if you lost?
Would you just say it's one game?
Yeah.
No. Well, I would feel bad if we lost because it's the Lions. Now, granted, I know what that offense could do. All right, so I feel bad about that. No, but I don't look. We got to be cautious. I do not expect, and as far as I know, this man can come in here and do 4 touchdowns. I'm not looking for Dak to come out here and do it. I'm expecting Dak to probably be rusty. It is what it is. I'm expecting him to probably, he's not, when he's on, but we've seen it when he's off, this is when he's healthy. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting him to come back, and he may not look that great. But at the end of the day, I still think, even if he doesn't look great, he gives us a chance to not keep having 3 and outs to put the defense right back on the football field, right? Which if you go back to just the other night, Sunday night, right? And I tell people this all the time. I don't really talk about it with a lot of people because Philly's so happy that they won and they talk about. I told y'all this.
You know how they get. You know how they get.
You can tell who watches football and who doesn't, right? Because honestly, now first of all, Dak owns Philly. He owns the Eagles since he's been in the league, right? Something like 7-3, whatever. But my thing is this: Cooper Rush, and then the one bad 4th and 1 situation, and as far as the whole McCarthy not challenging the CeeDee Lamb situation, but Cooper Rush put us in the hole early. Mm-hmm. Defense played great. I mean, they gave up that one drive towards the end. They played great in the second half, right? But beyond that, it was a whole lot of either interceptions by Cooper Rush, right, or 3 and outs, right? Mm-hmm. At least with Dak Prescott, you can get an interception or 2. You can get 3 and outs. They're not going to be as many. You're not continuously putting your defense back on the field consistently. So, so when he gets back, but I'll say this in ending though, when Dak is good, those weeks that he is good, he's really good. Right. And I just want anybody right now, and granted they're in a little bit of a hole with the way Philly's playing, and Philly's got an easy schedule. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, if you get somebody who's not going 3 and out every play, you got to hold on, and who actually uses the tight end, Dalton Schultz, this game, with that defense, it's a problem for anybody in the regular season.
I was about to say, your kryptonite, Prime. Calm it down. But I'm glad you said that for Dak, because I'm the complete opposite for Mac. To me, because you said, when Dak gets back, I know he'll be a little rusty, but he gives us a better chance than Cooper, right? Yeah. I don't think you're wrong. Only difference is, right? I don't have the patience for rust. My patience is for winning, right? So if Zap gives us the best chance to win. No, Zap, because we're zapping these hoes. Okay, I already got my catchphrase.
Zappy hour.
Nah, nope. We zapping these hoes. That's like what mine is. I like mine. I like mine. No, but again, to me, it's kind of just like it's rocking the boat because Mac didn't play all the best when he got injured, right? So I'm like, if we're winning now, and we're not winning solely because of defense, Bailey is able to put some points on the board, right? Our running game has been really good, which, by the way, that was not a good game for Damian Harris to be injured for, because Ramondre Stevenson just ran himself into a starting job.
As he should.
God damn. I mean, they were using that man like his name was Marshawn Lynch. Man ain't come out the game till towards the end of the game. When they started putting in Pierre Strong and the other kid, whose last name is Harris. Bill really just doubles down on whatever. What's your last name? Jones? All right. You can join the other 7 we got. But no, I really like how Zappy Hour, there you go, Didge, looked this past Sunday. The Hunter Henry, them utilizing Jonnu Smith better. Jacoby Myers is Julian Edelman 2.0. Like, everyone looked really good. Really good. And guess what? Didge, I found out what our problem was offensively. Nelson Aguilar. That was our problem. He wasn't in the game. No interception. Who knew, right? Who knew that was a possibility? And I want to give you your flowers, Didge. You got 2 flowers I'm handing you today. Your first one is that defense played really good. Really fucking good. That Patriots defense played really good, Didge. Really good. Talk about it, Didge.
It looks
Talk
great.
about the 2 Joneses on the 2 bookends for cornerback.
It looks great. I mean, you had me a little worried. You were talking about Jacoby Brissett could come out there and light it up, and I was like, you know what? We've seen him do it before.
I was about to say, it's not like the man ain't never do it before. He did it before.
But I was honestly more worried about Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb, I told you, I think he's the best running back in the AFC North.
I don't disagree. But where I wasn't as nervous is that we knew that was their best weapon. Bill was going to try to take their best weapon away and make Jacoby Brissett beat him. And that's what he did.
But I've seen people do that against Nick Chubb.
And he still pushed through. That's true. That's true. Luckily for us, we've only played Nick Chubb, I think, once since he's been drafted. Because remember last year when we blew them out, he was injured. He didn't play that game. So that's why I thought him not really seeing the scheme of Bill's defense up close and personal before, not actually having the – and we didn't have Lawrence Guy to block up the middle. I was really nervous about that. And Bentley and those guys, I'm really nervous, though, about what's his name, the kid, Christian Barmore. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but that's going to hurt. I really like that kid's upside.
Let me see if they have any update.
Because I really, really like. Are you checking a injury update from Bill Belichick? What the fuck do you think he's gonna say?
We're gonna hope that maybe somebody just leaked some stuff.
Bruh, a player's eyeball can pop out of the socket. And they go, Bill, are they okay? Bitch, do I look like a doctor to you? He fine. He'll be there Sunday. You sure? I think. I guess so.
Maybe.
Tom Brady's hand was split open, and Bill said, "Bitch, I'm not a doctor." Ask Tom. Like, damn, Bill. Like, you don't maybe want to say something. Nah, I'm not a doctor. You talk to him. I don't do that shit. But no, you were right about the defense kind of coming into their own. But here's the one part that makes me nervous, Didge. We have not gotten to our tough stretch yet. We're still in our moderately easy stretch. We have not gotten to our tough stretch yet. We haven't played Buffalo once.
Yeah, but around them, we go Jets, Vikings. Well, actually, we go Jets, Colts, Jets, Vikings, Bills.
And you think that
5-game stretch?
I was about to say. Now, Didge, can you give me my flowers on Zach Wilson? Put some respect on his name.
I don't remember you saying much about Zach Wilson.
Oh no! Don't you do that. Because when Flacco played that game and lost, I said Zach Wilson would have easily won that game. And you said there would not have been a difference if Zach Wilson was in there. And that man has not lost the game since
What game was that? Was that the Cincinnati game or was that the Baltimore game?
It might have been the Baltimore game. It might have been, if I'm being honest.
Oh, no, I stand by that. He still would have lost to Baltimore. I stand by that.
But he could beat Aaron Rodgers, but can't beat Baltimore. The same Baltimore Giants just beat.
The Packers clearly aren't the Packers I thought they were.
I don't mean that disrespectfully, Joel. Shut up. I saw your face.
Yeah, every week you do that. You take a shot.
It was not a shot. I just said the Giants beat the Ravens.
The face you gave me last week when I said that, we know the Ravens because we have Ravens game. So it mattered, right? We had the defensive coordinator. We have a couple of players.
To be fair, Joel, it wasn't looking all great till later in that game.
That's every game.
You're not wrong.
That's how we start games, dog.
I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, Joel will be quiet this week. And then, nope, right on cue.
In what world am I not quiet?
That's true. Yeah.
But sure, I mean, Zach Wilson and the Jets as a whole are playing a lot better than I thought they would play. So I guess I'll give you some flowers. But I stand by.
Hell nah. Not no sunflowers. I gave you all your flowers. I still got a whole nother bushel to give you.
Bouquet,
I stand by. I don't think that they would have beat Baltimore regardless.
I don't see how you feel that. First of all, they barely got any receivers. Sauce Gardner was shutting down whoever they put on that field.
There are 2 losses I think they would have lost regardless if it was Flacco or Wilson.
Here's the thing, though, and Joel makes a good point about the Giants having, ex-Ravens and whatnot. But the Giants have cornerbacks I've never heard of and essentially rendered Baltimore useless. Sauce Gardner is better than any cornerback they got out there, and you thought the Jets couldn't have done anything?
It might have been a closer game, but I don't think they would have won.
Imagine with a good cornerback.
I'm like, they didn't have a good cornerback out there, and they had a very middle-of-the-road quarterback. The Jets have a better quarterback and a top-notch corner, and you don't think there could have been any difference?
Yeah. Sauce Gardner also came into his own as the years got by. That was first game of the year.
Right? But again, who does Baltimore have wide receiver-wise that's a world breaker?
Now, no one.
That week they had Rashad Bateman who was balling out. I remember that because I signed Rashad Bateman that next week.
Yes, week one.
Wait, when they were playing,
he's been hurt though.
Yeah,
so who was Sauce Gardner guarding?
Probably either
Duvernay. That must have been Duvernay.
No, but then. Rashad Bateman, he was balling out also that week. They both did pretty good.
Hey, look,
I remember signed him that next week, and then he got hurt. And I was like, well, that's
he jinxed it.
You gotta respect that whole squad regardless, though. So the Jets. That's not like it's a big deal to anybody, but you understand that. So through the first 6 weeks, they've had that Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week.
Yep.
They won 3 times. And the one guy that y'all haven't talked about, I know we be talking about Zach Wilson. You put some respect on Breece Hall's name.
Oh, hell yes. Yeah. Hell yes. Hell yes.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
And Wilson. Garrett Wilson won it the week too.
Yes, yep. And we got to apologize, not us, but the media has to apologize to the head coach. Because remember when he came out and said, all right, I'm taking names on all you motherfuckers. Right? Everybody laughed at him like, it's not like y'all will be anything anyway. And that motherfucker proceeded to go on a winning streak.
When y'all play them?
I'm taking that week off, so I don't know.
2 weeks.
No, I won't be here.
That's gonna be
good. I won't be here because if they lose that game, I won't be on this show. Well, I won't be on this show until after the second game they play. So I don't have to be here for any one of those games. Now, if they win, we're doing the show. If they lose, you guys can go ahead and.
I'm going to play that night that we ain't gonna be here.
But no, I really do love Sauce Gardner in his swagger. Wearing that cheese head and strutting your shit out there on the field. I love that. Great. I really love that. That's what makes football so much. It's like baseball when they flip the bat. Shit like that is what really makes the game really exciting because it's like you want that. I'm better than you. Now what? What you gonna do? We don't play you again, right? Unless we meet in the Super Bowl. What you gonna do about it? I love that. I love it. But all right, your other flowers I wanted to give you, Didge, were you did say something about, you know what I'm saying, when I was saying that Chiefs got Juju Smith-Schuster, who the fuck is he, right? Ain't no TikTok dances to do in the end zone, so he won't be there. And he's really starting to carve out a role because they've been playing him at tight end.
That's not what I talked about. I know where you're going with this. We know what I talked about. We know who won them.
I'm getting there. Give me a second. Good.
Damn, Didge.
I'm trying to give you all your flowers. Relax. I'm going in order.
Who wants to deflower you, dude?
God. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
I don't care about Juju. I care about we know who won them that game. And as much as I hate to give Buffalo props, didn't you say he wasn't a game changer? He wasn't as effective?
Josh Allen?
That's not who we were talking about. You know who we're talking about.
You know he's talking about.
Are you talking about Patrick Mahomes?
We know who we're talking about.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Mr. Two Sacks himself. Two tackles for a loss.
Von Miller. You know what's so funny about you wanting to give Von Miller credit? Is that I could have sworn you told me that motherfucking guy was Patrick Mahomes. I did just watch Patrick Mahomes lose to the real motherfucking guy in the NFL, and that's Josh Allen. It's the Josh Allen experience, Didge. We just living in his world.
It's not.
It's not?
Von Miller won him that game.
Oh, please. That beautiful throw Josh Allen made before halftime for what's his name? First of all, Kansas City, how did you not learn your lesson from last year's game where this kid nobody heard of ran all over the field on you? How the hell you leave him that wide open? Guard the motherfucker. He killed y'all last year. But that was a beautiful pass.
I'll give you
to him on the far right. for a walk-in touchdown. Beautiful. It's okay to admit, Didge, that you picked the wrong quarterback. I picked the wrong quarterback. Shit, I went Justin Herbert. I was completely wrong. I should have said Josh Allen. I take it back. Josh Allen. That's the king of the NFL right now. I said it. But I will give you credit. I will give you credit on don't go by playoffs, because then that means that Joe Burrow is about to go back to the Super Bowl. Don't do that. But anyway, I will give you credit for Von Miller. Von Miller is really setting himself up to be the defensive player of the year this year. I mean, he really is. To me, I kind of feel as though who else is his competition? Maybe Matthew Judon? Maybe.
Hold on, man.
No, I'm not giving it to Lawrence. Hell no, I'm not giving it to Lawrence. You thought I was gonna say Lawrence?
You know who you talking about? Who's gonna be in the conversation? There's somebody else supposed to be in the conversation.
You better not say 11. You better not say 11.
They're all tied for second in sacks.
Who? Who's all tied?
Von Miller, Matthew Judon, Micah Parsons.
Okay, thank you.
All of them have 6.
Yeah, it's so crazy because, like, I don't know at what point the breakaway will come, right? Like, again, because if you're Von Miller and Matthew Judon, usually you look at the Dolphins and the Jets as food, right? Where you're just, that's going to be where we get like 30 sacks a game, right? But it's like, well, shit, if both of y'all get 30 sacks in those 2 games, you're just going to keep being neck to neck, right? And I think what's making Micah Parsons' life so much easier this year is that you can't double Micah, because then you got Lawrence that'll just walk right to your quarterback and throw his ass down, right? So it's like, that's going to be a tight race between those guys.
Well, I'll say this for my guy. My guy is the fact that if Dak comes back healthy enough and they start scoring points, and that defense is not just being rushed right back out on the field, that's a plus for him.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll add to that. If Bill Belichick can take the shackles off of Zappy's legs and let that man air it out, we talking the same ballpark right now, bro.
Yours is an if. Mine is an if because he has to return the form. But we've seen this with this guy.
You didn't have to come at Zappy like that, man.
No,
you didn't.
I'm not dissing the guy. I'm just speaking facts. See, did Zappy have the highest scoring offense last year?
He wasn't in
college
the league last year. Yeah, I was about to say in college he might have.
That's my point.
Okay.
Oh, Khalil Mack also has 6 guys, by the way. I forgot about him.
Oh, no. Don't think I was going to let you forget that. That was when I was going to ask for my flowers. It's when I got to Khalil Mack. Don't you worry.
Zappy is doing this thing. I'm just saying that.
What round they draft Zappy?
4th.
Oh, yeah, like 4th.
They draft with 2 quarterbacks in 2 years or something?
Yeah, that's what we were shocked. Me and Didge were like, did you not think the first one worked out? Like, what
that's
the fuck
so Bill, though. That's so Bill.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill looked at Mac Jones and was just like, no, you know what happened. I think this is exactly what happened. I think Mac Jones last year started to become too friendly with Robert Kraft. And Bill said, I remember the last time a motherfucker got too cozied up with Robert Kraft. He wouldn't let me trade the last motherfucker. Let me go get somebody just in case.
Speaking of which, Didge probably can pull this up real quick, and I wasn't even going to say nothing, but somebody just hit me from my group, and I've seen it. Did y'all
Jerry
see
Jones, right? Yep.
Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft. Yep.
Jerry said he told your boy, don't F with me.
Yeah, don't fuck with me, dog. Hey, he said, you know who I is. You know who I be. You know what I'm saying? But look, Jerry Jones, be careful. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not going to act like Robert Kraft ain't been in the trenches with Meek Mill lately. You know what I'm saying? With the dirt bikes. You know what I'm saying? He been in the trenches a little bit. Yeah, he might have picked up something. You know what I'm saying?
When you click the article,
don't make him squabble. You know
it says that the first time Jerry Jones was like, don't fuck with me. Then Robert Kraft was like, excuse me. And it said Jones was like, don't mess with me. So it's like, did you just get scared that quick, Jerry Jones? What's going on?
I'm trying to tell you. First of all, this is what people need to understand about Robert Kraft. I know you always see him. He's smiling. He looks so inviting, so loving. But what you don't know is that what goes through his head 24/7 is, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. When I bought that Aston Martin, y'all thought it was rented. That's what plays in his head 24/7. You don't fuck with Robert Kraft, okay? You just
I don't know if anybody ever thought he rented an Aston Martin. That'd be foolish.
Nah, definitely not. Yeah, definitely not.
You don't have to lie, Robert Kraft. No one ever thought you rented.
But first of all, if you ever tell somebody, hey, don't fuck with me, and they say, excuse me, you come back and say, hey, don't mess with me, man. That lets you know where they at. They let you know Robert Kraft is the man amongst.
I don't know about that part.
He the man. He the man.
I don't even like my owner, but I don't think there's really too many people bigger than the owners than Jerry Jones, bro.
I ain't never seen Jerry Jones in the trenches.
You don't have to.
He be in the stable. Robert Kraft be in the trenches.
They said Adam Schefter was talking about it one time before when they in the meetings and they talk like him or not. Jerry's the man.
Yeah, I do hear a lot about Jerry Jones be the person because they say Jerry Jones is the most outspoken.
Keep in mind, I'm telling you, I don't like him, but I'm just trying to tell you.
I'm also saying Robert Kraft is the only owner that can get a rub and tug and skate free. You know what I'm saying? Skate free. He skated free about that mug.
You don't think every other owner is actually that's happening to them not as we speak?
Nah, they can't get jammed up like he did.
Jerry Jones and that daughter thing went away though, didn't?
That is very true. That shit did just Jerry Jones said, "I got oil,"
and the photo with the strip. So I'm just telling you.
And Jerry Jones made that Zeke thing go away when he beat that kid's ass. He definitely stepped in there and said, "I got oil." And they said,
forgot that even happened.
Bitch, I got oil. All right, fuck around. I shut us all down. All right. So yeah, I gotta give you that. Jerry got it. All right. So the other flowers I was trying to give you, Didge, was your boy Patrick Mahomes, right? Is really extremely talented. But the question I wanted to ask you was, and I'll let Joel and Prime chime in too, is apparently the Chiefs just restructured Travis Kelce's contract as a way to bring in another player.
Wow.
So my question to you is, what do they need more of? Offense?
Jesus.
Or defense? You think the Chiefs need Jesus?
Everyone needs Jesus.
Patrick Mahomes might be walking out there like, bitch, I'm like Jordan. I'm Jesus in tennis shoes.
I'm gonna go defense.
Defense. Now, are you going? Do they need added pressure, or do they need a shutdown corner?
Shutdown corner.
Shutdown corner. Okay.
Their secondary, it gets rough there, and at least Chris Jones every so often can get some pressure.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, I can neither confirm nor deny this. But every time I see warm-ups for teams about to play the Chiefs secondary, this is all I see, Prime. I just see the quarterbacks just look over and just go, we eating good tonight. I don't know who the hell these kids is out here, but we throwing. We throwing today. Tell the running back, go ice yourself. We throwing, right? So I'm like, but I'm curious because I don't know of any cornerback, like any top-notch cornerback outside of maybe the Packers want to do a fire sale, which I think they should maybe.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't think about who's available. I didn't go that far.
No. I'm not putting that on you. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm like Jair Alexander. I think could be a really good addition to that team because you don't need him to be a shutdown. You just need him to not be somebody that can give up 10 to 15 touchdowns a season, right? But his problem has to be health. But that's why I think if you're the Chiefs, you can kind of get him on a little bit of a cheat, right? Like you don't have to essentially trade away the whole roster to get Jair Alexander. But I don't think the Chiefs' true problem is pressure, that they can't get to the quarterback. I think they can get to the quarterback because it's not just Jones. It's another kid on that line that's a monster too. I can't remember his name.
Frank Clark?
Yes.
Frank Clark?
No, Clark. So they got a few pieces that can produce pressure. But again, I think the problem is you can get the ball out quick when the corners aren't that good, right? You just get it out quick before the pressure comes to you. So if you had at least one lockdown cornerback, it makes it a lot harder. You got to do a few different reads before you could just zip that ball out. So, okay, so you're going cornerback, Didge.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Prime, who you going with?
I would agree with that. My only thing with that, I don't know if they were ever that great back there. I mean, in that whole secondary, even though they made
Honey Badger. Honey
Badger was a safety. They were good, but the people were still throwing the ball on them. They had Breland and all that. So I think they I think that would be a great move if they could get the right corner. I definitely agree with that. But being I'm used to seeing them that way, doing this current, winning the way they've been winning, I change up a little bit. And so what are we in? About to go into week 7?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're obviously going to make the playoffs, so it's going to be more than a 10-11 week rental. And I say rental because this guy's a free agent. But I would like to see them make a move and go after Roquan Smith.
You're going linebacker.
Yeah, because you think about he's unhappy. Chicago won't pay him, hasn't paid him. They suck. And he's going to want a lot of money. So, it could be a 1-year rental, possibly, because then you got to turn around and worrying about re-signing him. Or if you can try to, strike them on the table before then. But I would love to see him plug that middle, because if you think that Chris Jones and Frank Clark can get after the quarterback now, depending on what you do with Smith in that middle, if you put him in that middle, he can come up the middle, he can play the run tough, whatever. They're going to be even more of a problem, because a lot of times you're going to have to bring 2 people out to meet him at some point. Right. And that's going to free up that, the rest of those guys. So I like to see them go after somebody like Roquan Smith.
And Roquan Smith, I don't think money will be an issue for him, because I think what you can sell him is, one of the biggest reasons you wanted to leave Chicago is not being used enough, right? Not only will we use you, you could possibly be in the fucking Super Bowl season 1, right? Like, not all right, we're a work in progress. Day 1, our goal is Super Bowl, right? So it's like, for me, I think you can kind of get him on a more reasonable deal. And the fact is, outside of Patrick Mahomes, there just should not be a lot of people you're paying an absorbent amount of money to.
I'll say this though: if Roquan will be the guy that I would love to see go there. Mm-hmm. Now, but if we're talking the other side of the football, put them on the OBJ list.
Oh, I think they already are on that list.
Yeah,
to me, that's more so of a, I don't know. And yes, if they can get Odell, of course, right, you take the chance. But for me, I don't think he'll even be what he was last year.
We don't know that, though. And he doesn't think about that offense. Does he have to be?
No, he doesn't have to be. But again, if I'm restructuring Travis Kelce's money to go after somebody, I want to at least see who's out there that could be a big fish I can get.
But he could be a big fish.
If I can't,
so this is my thing.
I don't know if I put that pressure on.
I don't see any other big name player right now that we know of so far that's disgruntled or a team looking like they're dangling anybody other than Christian McCaffrey. So,
well, they could have Robbie Anderson, because fucking Cardinals got him.
How big is that though?
A box of smokes.
We found out why that really happened.
I will say this: Robbie Anderson is a problem. You can make an argument he hasn't had the best quarterbacks to throw to him. Obviously, minus Baker, but outside of that, he hasn't had the best.
I think you could have all the help they can get, and all the help they can get. But we found out that altercation that he had with the coach happened at the perfect time, because now Arizona's getting news that the fact that about Hollywood. First, it could be season ending. Now it could be a ton of weeks. So,
which, by the way, speaking of disappointments, they're a massive disappointment right now. The Cardinals, they're just losing games they shouldn't be losing, even without your biggest weapon.
Pathetic.
But adding Robbie Anderson to McCole Hardman, Travis Kelce, and Juju, it doesn't make you world beaters, but it keeps you honest. You can't double Travis Kelce in the box, right? You have to decide who you want to go, who you want to put your best corner on, Hardman, Juju, or Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson is capable of big plays. He really is. So to me, I think Robbie Anderson could have been something they could have went after. But to me, if you're clearing space, that sounds like an off-season move, right?
It could be, and may not be. But you remember OBJ just said that the Rams, in so many words, the Rams ain't really come close to what I'm looking for.
Well, it's hard for the Rams to do that when they just overpaid Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson. Yeah,
that's right. The Chiefs might be able to meet that, even if it's for a season.
Hey, Von Miller's still holding out hope he goes to Buffalo.
Von Miller guaranteed it.
Yeah,
like 3 hours ago.
We're just waiting for it to happen in a moment now, right?
I mean, at this point, do you say no to Von Miller, the tear he's on? Do you say no? Like, I mean, at this point, you say yeah. And look, Joel won't say it, so I'll say it for him. Don't count out the Giants, man. Don't count out the Giants. He might look at them and go 5-1. I might be able to get jiggy with that a little bit. And he wouldn't have to worry about playing time. Who the hell the Giants got? Their ninth string? Like your ninth string wide receivers? Like, yeah, Odell would easily step right in, contribute. And if he can be what he was, that's a perfect place to do it. You're not worrying about sharing touches with anybody. You know what I'm saying? You'd be the premier receiver if you went back home.
Without a doubt.
Right. I mean, shit, at this point, you had a running back playing quarterback. They're all disjointed in their positions out there.
Well, I mean, that was because he got hurt. But
no. I'm just joking.
That happened one game. Like,
that won't be the story I tell the youth going forward. I'm like, man, y'all remember when Saquon had to play quarterback all 17 games? That year the Giants went to the playoffs?
But he has no passing.
It's all right. He went full Tim Tebow. He just went Wildcat. But Joel, with the Chiefs clearing some cap space, what position do you think they should go after the most? Defense or offense?
I have no fucking clue. I don't watch them. I don't watch them enough to absolutely know where the weaknesses are. Honestly, they seem like a very stacked team. So, God forbid they fucking have a weakness. So I have no idea. Really.
I will say the Chiefs this season are like the Cavaliers the year LeBron won it with Kyrie and Kevin Love, because you could definitely say his Kyrie is Travis Kelce and everybody else is just there for the ride. Like Patrick Mahomes is LeBron, so much so it kind of clears up all your other deficiencies. Really, like you don't really have anything glaring because it's like, oh, well, the other team scored 34. Well, Patrick can get 40. So it's like, I can clean that up. That's no problem.
Yeah.
So you do look at them and you're kind of just like, they're a juggernaut. Not really. Like, their team's not stacked. It's just at the most important position, they have a juggernaut there. So it's like,
they'll be
all right.
Yeah, they have a arguably the best quarterback and probably the best tight end. And then they have receivers.
I want to come here and say they unequivocally have the best tight end in football. I ain't heard George Kittle's name in forever.
Mark Andrews is pretty good.
Say, wait a minute now. Let's not leave Mark Andrews out.
Yeah, Mark Andrews is pretty good.
I'm not leaving him out, but I'm also not putting him anywhere near Travis Kelce.
Yeah, that's leaving him out.
Well, he's number 2.
That's not leaving him out.
This year, at least.
Since when is top 2 leaving somebody out?
Because you said nowhere close.
Hey, because he ain't.
He's close.
The hell no, he ain't.
The way he's playing this year, yes, he is.
All right, let's see him start to break records. Then we can talk about being on Travis's level.
They have the exact same number. They have the exact same number of yards and receptions and touchdowns.
Yeah, at this point, Travis Kelce is old. So it's like, good for you, Mark Andrews. You caught it. It's like when Gronk was on his way out and people were saying, it's Travis Kelce's world now. Yeah, Gronk is a fucking zombie walking around here with creaky bones. Yeah, he should take over. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's Travis Kelce's world that these other tight ends live in. And when he decides he's done, it'll be Mark Andrews' world that we all live in. Simple. But shout out to Prime, because Schultz ain't nothing to mess around with. You know what I'm saying? Schultz ain't nothing to mess around with.
You got to get his quarterback coming back now. So
I'm off Schultz. Yeah. I had him for 2 weeks.
Well, he was hurt too, dude.
He got hurt.
That's why you know what?
His guys coming back now. His guys.
You know what's funny about you saying that? I benched Hunter Henry, right? And now this motherfucker wants to get touchdowns and yards and all that. So, it just depends. It depends. It just depends.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. Because a lot of these guys, it's just a game plan. It's just a game plan.
That's what happened when I had Ertz a couple years ago, and I'm still bitter. He's in Arizona now. I'm like, what happened?
Ertz did have a bit of a drop to where it's just you were good.
I owned him during that period. I was like,
stressful.
Stop being good just overnight.
Stressful. But all right, let's look forward to this upcoming week. New England's got a Monday nighter against Chicago. That should be a really fun game because, again, if Zappe wants to really establish himself, right, and make this decision very difficult, these are the kind of games where you got to show up and show out. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see. And it'll be fun, Didge, to see if Matthew Judon can break the record of single game sacks. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That'll be interesting to see if he can get that. Which was weird though, by the way. I rewatched that Patriots game last week, Didge. There were a lot of downs where they didn't have Judon on the field at all. They took him out. They completely took him out.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I didn't know why either. That was really weird for me. I'm looking at it, I'm like, why are you not blitzing here? That's weird, but whatever. They were using Bentley in a lot of different packages, and Bentley works. You know, Bentley works on blitz packages because he can also dip out and cover. So they were using him for a lot of different packages. But Bill's been running some weird shit lately. Like the fact that Jonnu just had his first big breakout run all season. Have you not drawn up more plays for the guy you're paying an absorbent amount of money for? I still don't understand how we paid Jonnu and Hunter Henry to be our Rent-A-Center, Gronk, and Aaron Hernandez, and then they don't use them. They don't use them.
I don't think he has the faith that – I don't know if he just doesn't have the faith that our quarterback can do it. I have no idea.
I don't know. Because your tight ends are supposed to be your security blankets.
Yeah,
Mac Jones' security blanket since he started has been freaking Jacoby Myers. True. Has been a security blanket. So I'm like, well, damn. Man, all these damn tight ends. Yours is who? Your security blanket is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No. When it comes to passing, it's been Richie James, honestly.
Oh, got you. I was about to say, when all else fails, y'all just go hand him the ball. It's like, but he's tired. Hand him the ball and let him do his work.
Give him a blanket. Let him run with the blanket. He's tired. Run like that.
Somebody give him some Gatorade. He'll be fine. But Joel, who did the Giants play this week?
Jacksonville, I believe.
Ooh, that's going to be a tough one. I don't understand how Jacksonville lost against the Colts. I really don't. I don't understand how you leave Pittman Jr. that wide open. I really don't get it.
I was so
really
confused.
Don't get it.
I swear I looked at that game. Jacksonville was up, and I was like, all right, yep, makes sense. Came back, and I was like, they lost?
First thing I thought is, damn, what injury did Matt Ryan have that they benched him, that this whoever the backup is came in and won this game? Like, no, Matt Ryan did it. Oh, no, you're lying. There's no way. There's no conceivable way. But I think the Jaguars are on the track forward. You know, I think they're heading in the right direction. I think within a few years, we'll have to put a lot of respect on that team's name. I think they're just missing a few pieces for them to really get back to it.
I'm still pretty big on Trevor Lawrence.
As you should be. And I apologize for telling you that you shouldn't be. You should be. That man is the real deal Holyfield. He ain't no Bailey Zappi, but he's the real deal Holyfield.
No one is. Except maybe Mac Jones a couple months ago. I don't know what happened.
No, I've never had faith in Mac Jones. I don't know what you're talking about. I've been asking for Tom Brady for 3 years now.
I still think Mac Jones can turn it around. I still got faith in him.
No, Didge. You are not wrong. I 100% think he can turn it around when he gets traded to Dallas. When he goes to Dallas and joins the Joneses, I think they can all have one great season together where he really kind of kicks it into gear. But this is Zappi's world now. Yeah, he can move the fuck out. It's Zappi's world now. Prime, who the Cowboys play this week?
Lions at Detroit. So they coming off a bye week. Probably mad what y'all did to them. Thanks a lot. And yeah, so
for nothing.
Hopefully the defense just, we probably won't shut them out like you guys did, but hopefully the defense can just shake off Sunday night and go out there and do what they do.
All you have to do is play spooky hours for Jared Goff before the game, because that man sees ghosts. So as long as you play spooky hours, and you don't even have to put Micah Parsons in a blitz package. Just let him make eye contact with Micah Parsons. He'll throw an interception. You ain't even got to worry about it. He'll take care of you.
He'll be in that top tier psychiatrist. It was a ghost. One was like an 11. It was a 90, a 92. They were just. Yeah.
Once that game's over, he'll never want to see the numbers 1 and 1 together ever again. So trust me, you'll be fine. You'll definitely be fine. So I like what I'm hearing. I think the Giants can pick up another win. I think Dallas can get back. If they put Dak back, you're gonna lose. Sorry, this is Cooper Rush's world. So you put Dak back in, that's a loss. And Bailey Zappi. You know what I'm saying? We about to get it done over in Chicago. We're gonna get it done over there. I like where we're at when we head back next week, and we're talking about where our basketball teams are. Knicks will have been 2-0 by then. Milwaukee will have been 0-7.
We only played 2 games, so that's gonna be weird.
I told you we're shortening your games this year. You play 7 games in a row.
Oh, okay.
and two of those 7 are back to back, not days. I mean the same day, just a few hours apart. Okay, that's your schedule. Sorry, Didge, I don't make the rules. You enjoy that. But that's pretty much all we got for you guys this week on GVN Sports. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We will be doing a podcast for Tales of the Jedi. So we will be getting together to review Tales of the Jedi. I don't think they're dropping it all at once. I think it will be weekly. So we'll be doing a weekly show.
When does the first one come out? Did I miss the first one?
Nope, next week.
I thought it was next week, but I was like, oh, God. I go back into the office for the first time in 3 years tomorrow. My week is hell. God bless you, like, I've been so thrown off all week because I've been like, shit, I actually got to go into the office. It's literally been the first time since like 2020.
Is it like full time or just
2 days a week? So we're going just to like, it's been so nice to see you. How did you handle COVID? Blah, 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 blah. And then starting next week, I do it every Tuesday and Thursday.
Prime. Do you hear how ungrateful these children are today? I got to get up and walk into an office 2 days a week. Oh, my goodness gracious, the children of today. Y'all make me sick.
I chose to work in IT so I could work wherever I wanted to work. I shouldn't be tied to an office.
I'm just saying, I ain't never seen Joel happier than when his job was just like, home, you can stay there if you want. He was like, well, I like that.
That was my dream. I always wanted that since I was a kid.
You see a whole bunch of people like when I was a kid, I wanted to be rich. So I was like, I just want to work from home.
I want to work from home.
That's really all I needed.
I can do 2 days. I can do 2 days a week. It came up so quick. They told us in like September, and I was like, I got time to prepare for that. I looked like, oh shit, that's tomorrow. Like,
welcome
make
back,
sure you bring
bitch.
your ass right back in the office. But all right, guys, that's all we got for you. So stay tuned. We'll be doing some Star Wars stuff towards the end of this month. Also, stay tuned. We'll be having a Black Adam review next Monday.
Word.
We'll get ourselves prepared for Black Panther at that point. From what I'm hearing, we'll be getting another trailer, our final trailer from Black Panther soon. And the Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania trailer will not be long behind it. So we'll have so much content to break down for you guys. And really quickly, Prime, did you guys see Halloween yet? Halloween Ends? You did? Okay. No,
I did.
At some point, I do want us to talk about that movie. I wanted to wait for you guys. So at some point, I do want us to talk about that.
Did you hear how deep that sigh was?
I did. And mine was the same thing when I finished. So it's okay.
I don't care what I got going on. I'm going to make it.
All right. Perfect.
That sigh came from the bottom of my stomach.
I'm not even invested in the franchise. It was just like, okay. All right. That was something. But all right. So stay tuned for that, guys. We got so much heading your way. But till then, peace. Nope. Can I hit the button? Nope. Still didn't hit the button. Nope. Don't yawn, Joel. We're not off yet. There we go.